WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the Zoom, Mr. Adam Clapp, Superintendent of Monticello Schools. Mr. Clapp, how are you today?
Awesome, Seth. How are you?
I'm all right. I didn't have nearly the busy weekend you did. You doing all right?
Yeah, no, it was a busy weekend, but it was a good one. Great weather, and it's awesome to see our kids walk across that stage.
Perfect day for graduation. Really was.
Yeah.
Sunday graduation, correct?
Sunday graduation. Yeah, we graduated 130 seniors on Sunday at 2 in the Seaver Center. The weather was great, but we also had air conditioning inside, which makes it nice as well. But there's some days, some years where all the parents and grads want to stay inside in that air conditioning because it's so hot outside. But yesterday was awesome. They kind of filed out and kind of hung out in the parking lot.
Very good. Very good. And I know I saw you Friday for a softball game, and going to be a busy week for your kids. Softball, baseball, regionals, soccer, track. They're all finishing up right now.
That was the conversation I had with several seniors yesterday. It was just like, hey, this isn't over. We still got a lot of spring events that you're involved in that we want to see you guys do well. And we got state track for the girls. Boys got their sectional coming up. Soccer has a great chance on Tuesday, playing BCC in the regional championship, and then we're hosting the softball regional, and then our baseball team has a really good shot at it as well. So really cool opportunities this week for our kids to bring home some hardware.
That was strange for me to graduate and still have to play baseball. That was a little weird.
You know what though? It was kind of back when I was in high school, graduating and then having a couple more baseball practices and baseball games. It was kind of cool. That was your one thing on the agenda for the day. It was like, all right, I know I got baseball practice at 3. Sleep in a little bit, call your buddies, see what's going on, and then make your way to the baseball field. It's pretty cool.
Yep, no doubt. Very good. Well, busy times for sure. And I know, Mr. Clapp, you've got a board meeting coming up this week, and it's interesting. One of your items on your agenda, I just got done talking with Tony Kirkman at the Piatt County Mental Health Center about an item on your agenda for this week. Now, he didn't want to disclose who the schools that were taking up an initiative were, but it's on your agenda, so I assume we can talk about it if that's all right with you. What's going on? What do you have on your agenda for this week?
Yeah, so one of our agenda items this week is our intergovernmental agreement with Piatt County Mental Health. It's a discussion item this month, and if the board sees fit, it'll be an action item for June. But we are looking at revisiting an agreement we had several years ago with a mental health therapist from Piatt County Mental Health, partnering with us and supporting our students at the middle school and high school, as well as a couple other school districts. I won't speak to them, but speak to us. We had a very successful run with this program in 21-22 school years. At those times, we worked with Piatt County Mental Health and with some other local school districts to support our kids and with a mental health therapist. That mental health therapist was in the district 2 to 3 days a week, working with our students, whether it was a proactive approach in supporting and building up strategies for dealing with anxiety or depression or just overall students in crisis as well. So it was ultra successful several years ago. We're excited to bring it back, and that's one of the items that, with the passing of the 708 referendum that Tony, I'm sure, mentioned on your show, that's one of these things that is going to make this possible with the collaboration of the school districts and the Piatt County Mental Health Center.
Sure.
We're excited about it. Very excited about it.
Speak to that need in your schools right now.
Yeah, I think we're just seeing it across the country where we have this need for extra mental health support. We're right in the middle of Mental Health Awareness Month, and I think it's a great opportunity for us to partner with a local agency that has some expertise. Our students are just like anybody else in the community. We have stressors at different points of the year, different times of the day, and this is just another layer of support for students to ultimately pick up strategies and ways to, deal with their anxiety and strategies to support their anxiety and depression and just overall stress levels.
Mhm.
And we're excited about this. We have social workers within our school district that also support our students, our administration, our teachers, all those things, but they're all part of a greater plan and several layers of support.
Now, I know you have kids that are a little younger, Tony, sorry, just got off the phone with Tony, Mr. Clapp, but you also deal with the high school kids and probably see them a lot as well. Just from what you've experienced the last several years, where does this come from for our youth? This feels like a
The
new,
stressors.
yeah, where does this stem from? What's going on in their lives? This feels like new uncharted territory. I mean, we weren't really,
Yeah.
it feels like kids when we were in school, we didn't worry about this stuff. This stuff wasn't even on our
Yeah.
radar. How about that?
I think it was on our radar, but there may have been you were able to shut off the school day or shut off a little bit as far as like today with the use of smartphones and social media. It's hard to turn off the day or turn off the what happened at school. It's never, the school day may never be over if you are on social media or connected to your smartphone. So with that in mind, we've got to figure out a way to help students navigate this challenge. And I think if you think back to when we were in high school, phones were just coming onto the scene. I mean, Oakland, Illinois, where I grew up, was like a dead zone. So I can remember having my first cell phone when I was in college, and the only place my cell phone actually worked was like at the football field because it was a big empty space, and you'd have your antenna and you'd be walking around trying to find some signal. That's not the case anymore. You have a computer in your pocket that you have a multitude of data right there for you, social media, and that presents some challenges and some stressors that add on your typical school day.
I wonder from an education, and I'm not trying to suggest we do. I'm just curious. Do we ask too much of our kids in the world of education anymore? I sit and talk with these CEO kids, once or twice a year, and the stuff they're doing. I mean, they're in this program where they have to create a business, and they're playing baseball, they're playing softball, they're doing soccer, they're doing football, they're doing all these clubs in the school building. Do we ask too much of kids these days?
I don't think we ask too much of the kids these days. I really don't. I think part of it is learning that time management piece. And we look at high school as an opportunity to try out a multitude of things. That way we have, kind of honed in on what we're interested in once we leave high school. And I think, yes, there's high expectations for students, but I also know there's realistic expectations, and we try to get on the same level with our kids. And I don't think we want to lower the expectations. Even with my own kids, I want them to be involved in as many things as possible. I also don't hold them to a standard of they have to have an A+ on every assignment. I'm realistic about that. I want them to try their best, and I think that's the one thing that educators do a good job of is reinforcing that. Try your best, because our best is very good if we just try our best. If we try our best and a B is the best we can do, then we got to be satisfied with that, and we'll work harder moving forward. But it's not a matter of stressing out about those things.
Yeah, sure. Forgive me. I need to be reminded the initiative with the Pike County Mental Health Center, that's bringing a person into the building to like a counselor type of a role. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it'll be a mental health therapist that meets with students in a counseling setting. We actually would also work with this individual for larger initiatives in the schools. So one of the initiatives we did about 3 years ago was a anti-vaping initiative.
Mm-hmm.
So not only are we helping kids one-on-one through working through issues, we're looking at greater issues that are affecting a school as a whole. So at that time, we had an issue of vaping at the high school. So we really partnered with Pike County Mental Health and our social workers to develop an anti-vaping kind of campaign, and we set up some vaping cessation sessions as well. We had vape turn-in, like a anonymous box that we're able to turn in. So not only is it counseling, but we also are able to collaborate for some bigger initiatives as well.
How's that going?
So that 3 years ago when we pulled that out with our Pike County Mental Health, it was awesome. It was one of those things where we allowed the anonymous drop off. We had several vapes dropped off. We also were able to put together that I think it was a 4 to 6 week program of after school support meetings for those students who would like that. And then, unfortunately, when the intergovernmental agreement kind of ran its course, that program went away. But that's something that we would consider bringing back if we feel it's a need to bring back.
Do you feel like it has do you feel like it's had benefit? Like are you seeing improvement in the use of vapes? And it's every school dealing with this. I mean, I don't think I've talked to one where they're like, yeah, we don't really have that problem. Like, this is easy. This is an easy problem to like that transcends school districts. Are you seeing improvement on that front?
So when we did that program 3 years ago, we saw some improvement there, but we also installed vape sensors in our restrooms this year. And that's been a deterrent as well. And I think overall, we don't want any of our students vaping. We want to give them the support and the information they need to make better decisions in that regard, because the negative effects on your body from vapes is something that, I think if you're educated, you would make a better choice. So we've done that. We installed the vape detectors as well. And those have been a positive thing.
I'll tell you what, I'll give a shout out to a friend of mine. She was telling me about just the stuff. She works in the healthcare field, and she was telling me about the side effects of vaping that she sees in the respiratory stuff that it can have over time on a person. And not that I vape, I'm just saying like that's I'm just like I heard that and I'm like, yep, that's not for me. Not for me. Not going to do that. Right. So it's a detrimental thing. I mean, it looks cool, maybe smells cool. I don't even know what it does for a person in terms of a side effect. But I'm like hearing that, I was like, okay, we'll steer clear of that. So
I think the thing we talked about with the social media piece, like everything in today's society is like this fast food mentality where I can get this so quickly, I can get information so quickly. Vapes would be another one of those things it's kind of marketed towards adolescents, teenagers, so to speak, just their marketing program. So I think just information and education is a good thing, and I believe the Pike County Mental Health Partnership will help us enhance that.
You mentioned those vape sensors in the bathrooms. That's new this year, you said?
Yeah, we installed those last summer, and that was just one of those things where we'd been discussing it for several years. Just how could we best, because the bathrooms are that place where it's hard to supervise, and so we put those vape detectors in last summer. They've been a positive addition to the high school. We told the students up front last August, like, we installed these. We don't want you vaping. There's negative side effects to vaping, and we're going to help deter this behavior. So we're very upfront with them, and we believe it's had a positive impact.
Do you mind if I ask, like, what did you invest in those in terms of a dollar figure? And I would assume, have someone you assume, but I would assume those come from that 1 cent sales tax type of initiative.
So it can. I'd have to go back to get the exact dollar amount, but I believe.
You mean you don't know off the top of your head, Mr. Clapp?
Yeah, well, I can't get you to the penny, but it's about $7,000 what we invested in that.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, so it was a very good investment up front, and if it deters kids and helps them make better choices, it's a great investment.
Do you know of other schools that have done that?
Yeah, so not off the top of my head, but when we were going through the process of like vetting different companies, Triton Sensor is who we ended up going with, because there's an app on your phone. The administrators have an app, and it's very user friendly. So we can get a notification, and within seconds we're able to be at the bathroom or check the video surveillance of who'd walked in at what time of the day. We visited Sullivan High School last year. That was one of the schools we visited to see that technology in place. but yeah, several schools have went this route, and it's been a positive effect for all of us.
Gotcha. Well, hey, I'll tell you what, Mr. Clapp, I look at the clock. I'm well past a break. Let's do that now, and we'll come back and wrap things up. Adam Clapp, Superintendent of Monticello Schools, my guest on the Zoom. More to come with him on the morning show.
WHOW.
MR Systems Wireless is your local internet provider for Clinton and surrounding area. They have the products you want and the local service you deserve. MR Systems Wireless Internet Service for home or business includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month and get a free Roku 4 lease with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
Shane here from Highway 51 Exchange, just south of Clinton. Let us service your lawn and garden equipment for spring with our quick turnaround and service specials for free pickup and delivery. Click our icon on DeWittDailyNews.com for details.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
And yet another major brand just announced it's halting all social media advertising.
The two most overused and abused words in advertising are truth and trust. They are the two most precious commodities for all brands, big and small. As an advertiser, you have to trust your partners to protect your brand's truth using the media consumers trust. Radio, it's on.
Trust the Miller Media Group to deliver your message.
DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air and online 24 hours a day. The latest local news stories are heard every hour on Central Illinois' news station, the Big 1520 AM and 92.3 FM WHOW. Stream live at DeWittDailyNews.com. They're also heard every hour on the station that's your easy choice, 95.9 FM WEZC. And to read the latest local news on your electronic device, including tablets, iPhones, and smartphones, go to DeWittDailyNews.com. DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air, online 24 hours a day.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. Mr. Adam Clapp, Superintendent of Monticello Schools, on the Zoom with us today. And Mr. Clapp, as we talk about your board meeting this week for Monticello Schools, also we talked intergovernmental agreement with Piatt County Mental Health Center, and also an intergovernmental agreement with the Regional Office of Education. What is this? What's it all about? Mr. Clapp, we can't hear you, sir.
There we go.
There we go.
So yeah, each year we sign an intergovernmental agreement for our safe schools, our Futures Unlimited, and then option 3, which are alternative schools in Decatur that students have the option to go to in some cases. Milligan Academy is our safe school. Futures Unlimited is our school for students who may be in jeopardy of dropping out of high school. It's a more of a accelerated program and a support system. And then option 3 is new. Option 3 is for students who are chronically truant. But the addition that we piloted this year, this spring, is a ALOP program, alternative learning program, that provided a student liaison to work with us on our campuses. So we had a student liaison come to Monticello Schools starting in March, and basically worked the last 3 months of the school year as a pilot program. This person works with students who may have some behavior challenges or need extra academic support, or maybe some executive functioning, organization skill building. It blew our expectations out of the water. We felt it was going to be a very positive program, adding someone to support some of our students who need that support in classrooms, or just, maybe sometimes it's just a matter of helping organizing a locker and having a person to be there and support. We thought it was going to be great. It exceeded our expectations. So we're excited to have that program roll out next fall as a full year program. This person is an employee of the ROE. the title as a student liaison, and it's just been really awesome.
Yeah, sure. Well, when it comes to that program, continuing on with it, I would assume that means there were some benefits to it, and you felt it worthy to continue on. Do you mind speaking to maybe down to the kind of micro level, the benefits you saw there?
So what we did, we recognized individuals who may have struggled turning. Let's just talk about homework, for example. At our middle school, high school, we had several students who were struggling to complete homework assignments. Even with our layered support from our teachers, they were still struggling with that. Well, this was another layer of support of someone who is sitting, one-on-one working with the student, and sometimes just helping them turn an assignment in. And one example that we've talked about several times in our admin meetings, and we shared with the regional office of education, is we had a student who struggling to come to school and had 13 zeros. So just not doing any work and not coming to school. Within 2 weeks of working with our student liaison, this student was at school every day and did not have any missing assignments. And it just showed us that all it took was the right person having that right conversation in a one-on-one setting that motivated the student to come to school, and then not only come to school, but be present and doing the work.
Right.
And that's what this program did, and really just turned several of our students around. And this program goes 4th grade all the way through 12th grade.
Sure.
So Whiteheath, the middle school and high school, all benefit from having this student liaison here.
Very good. Well, Mr. Clapp, I hate to do this to you, sir. I got to let you go. We'll catch you soon. Mr. Adam Clapp, Superintendent of Monticello Schools. Network News is now.
President Trump and the First Lady sending well wishes to former President Biden.